Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for XRP link and ADA price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with XRP here on the all-time history first to see, of course, where are we. And for XRP, we are already in a finished impulse here for wave 1 or wave A, of course, meaning we are in a 1-2 here and then we're looking for wave 3, or we are in an A, B, and a C toward the upside. Both case scenario, of course, are bullish and still looking for higher since the direction of the all-time history is toward the upside. After this impulse, we got, of course, a very long sideways correction here in W, X, and Y, where your wave Y is the triangle ABCDE here, finished, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 finished another wave 1, and we're looking for a wave 2, finished, of course, by this very long wick, and then pushing for higher potentially based on the micro level that we're gonna see soon. So what I'm expecting for XRP is that this wave here has to repeat itself, of course, in there. We already got the 1-2 right now, and we're looking, of course, to push for higher here to reach at least the 1-to-1 fib level as an ABC here zigzag, and looking, of course, for the $154. If we dive inside it on the 2 hours chart here, we can see clearly that we have finished potentially this correction from the top here, of course, where we have top for a wave 1. This wave 1, of course, is an impulse, finished, of course, wave 5 there. And then we're pushing in a diagonal A, B, and a C here, potentially finished, of course, the wave C, of course, within the wick. But you have to consider, of course, the wave C kind of like truncated here, and especially because of this very long wick. We cannot really come back to this area to take the low. You cannot consider this. Therefore, if it makes it much better for you to understand what's going on, it might be the W, X here, and a wave Y finished over there. And we're pushing here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. If we are still looking for something deeper, where it can be an ending diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, the wave 5 might still unfold, of course, for a new low. And currently we are therefore in a wave 4 here in a zigzag, and then pushing for lower later on. However, on the 1 hour chart, we are looking here at a potential impulse as a 1-2, and we're looking, of course, for higher prices though, with can be, of course, an ABC, don't forget, in a wave 4, but we're still looking here for something higher in several 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 continuation toward the upside. So my target here for XRP is at least the 1-to-1 fib level, at least, of course, taking this wave A into consideration, which is already hit and already overpassed. And currently, we still, of course, kind of like a sideways corrective on the micro level here. I cannot consider this something impulsive. This is definitely something corrective, and it might be a triangle for wave 4 here. And we're pushing for higher prices in a wave 5. In confluence with this scenario, we see, of course, on the KGT here, the bearish signals has been given many times here, but the price was not really taking the low at the same time, despite that the pressure was significant here and in convergence within the signals. But obviously that this price couldn't took the low from the buy signal, which is the strongest here, and obviously we are still looking for higher, creating, of course, this divergence here for the bullish signals, and we see, of course, higher prices pushing exactly as we want. Now you see, of course, another sell signal there that it might unfold. Now, okay, it can be it can bring some pressure for lower prices, but don't forget that the price here took the high of the signal, meaning we have invalidation of bearish, and that means, of course, we will not take the low. We are corrective here. We might drop a little bit, but correctively, and we push for higher. And this is kind of like a signal of a correction there, still unfolding and still looking for higher prices. Yep, so this is regarding XRP. I'm still looking for higher. Definitely the next target, I would say. For XRP, I would say I would like to see the wave 3 here as an impulse, 1.618. Now, of course, we're very close to the uncommon target, but this is my target exactly for XRP here. in the blue box, 1.618, $2.13, and we take it from there. The next one we're gonna see here on our list is Link. For Link as well, we are looking at the all-time history. For Link, we are also impulsive in this chart as an all-time history direction of the market is upward since we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are expecting here an A, B, and a C, at least, of course, wave C, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. In this case, after this impulse, we got, of course, a very long sideways correction here. Might still be a correction that it might unfold here a W, X, and a wave Y, and then, of course, pushing for higher. Or it can be a big triangle, an A, B, C, D, and an E already finished. And we're looking right now for something to push for higher prices. Now, in case we are very, very bearish and still, of course, in a worst case scenario, you might have an ABC towards the 1-to-1 fib level, $2.7, which I doubted very much here for Link. I'm still looking, of course, for higher prices. Let's move for inside it. And of course, for this scenario, we are looking here an ABC potentially, at least the 1-to-1 fib level has to be taken here after this diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Wave B given, of course, taking the 886, and then we're looking here at potentially large one, wave one, and then, of course, a wave two, and we're pushing toward the upside. Now, in case it is a wave C, it might be, of course, your 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as well for a wave C, but you want to break above the 15.3 to call something as a wave 3. Don't forget, in this case, you might still be in a wave 4 in case the things wants to drop down further. It means like 1, 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. For a wave 3 in the white scenario, and this is your white wave 4. Then dropping in the wave 5, of course, in our blue or testing area as we were expecting for a wave 2 here, where we are expecting after this potential diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 truncation for wave 5, you might get, of course, an ABC there in our testing area. So in case we don't break the 1-to-1 fib level within this wave 4 and the things start to show weakness, yes, we're gonna, of course, come back to the perfect area for wave 2, testing this area, getting a signal of strength, and then moving toward the upside. If we take a look also on the KGT, we have a very, very strong signal as bullish for the Link. As you can see, you have triple signals. This is the most valuable signal on KGT that you might get. It's very rare to get it, but when you get it, it is very, very valuable. And as you can see, a very massive push toward the upside, of course, that we are looking here at. And we're still, of course, looking for something higher potentially. As we saw, of course, as per Elliott Wave, we need to see an ABC. Now, the signal there, it is in convergence, so we gotta be careful with it. And it might, of course, unfold something as a pressure here, as correction. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. But after this, you might get a new signal as bullish there. If we drop down a little bit, you might get another bullish signal and pushing again, of course, for higher. And that means here on the 1 hour chart, I'm still looking at something corrective, definitely. Despite that this looks like an impulse, internally it doesn't look like so. But because, of course, you have 1, 2, 3, wave 4 currently invalidated. Yeah, so you have a 3 waves, probably 3 waves up, and then pushing for lower later on, or even a 1, 2, and a 1, 2. And we're looking here for the wave 3 unfolding, of course, in 5 waves. If this happens, of course, that means yes, we are looking still for higher to take the high, which is, of course, the highest possibility here for Link. Yep, so we're gonna watch, of course, the next target for me is $15.3 for Link. ADA, for ADA as well, we are looking at the all-time history here. For ADA, we're gonna see, yeah, so we have, of course, this double 1, 2. And of course, it might be an ABC zigzag, which it is a wave A, or it can be 1, 2, and another 1, 2, which I doubt it. The highest possibility is a wave A there. And this wave A is 3 waves, and you have already here a potential correction in W, X, and Y can be, and then pushing for higher, unless that this is this impulse as an A, B, and a C might still be unfolding, of course, something as ending diagonal in our target blue zone here with a minimum FIB time required. And then, of course, from there, we might see, of course, something pushing for higher, even if we take the 1-to-1 FIB time, it might still, of course, showing something bullish. Now, basically, if this is a finished correction over there somehow in a W, X, and a Y, and you are looking here at 012, well, it's hard to say. This wick has took the low already almost, even the 886, few cents just difference. So it's hard to say that this is a 1-2, and especially here you don't see any kind of wave 4-5 to finish this impulse. And that means, of course, the only way to count something as an impulse is an ABC here, expanding flat and then pushing for higher, or running flat even, possibly, and then running, of course, for a wave 3, meaning 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave 3, 4, and a 5 to finish a wave C. In this case, let's dive inside it on the 2 hours chart here. As you can see, for the 2 hours chart from this drop down, I'm going to take a little bit 4 hour to see where are we. Here we go. So if we are in a wave A or a wave 1 here from this drop down, you have a wave B or a wave 2, and this is your wave C. The wave C is potentially here as, of course, unfolding as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Truncation, of course. The wave 5 failed to take this wick, and it has finished a 1, 2, 3, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for wave 3, wave 4, and a wave 5 finished there for a wave C, and we're looking to an impulse as a wave 1. In case we are in a bigger WX and a Y, let me show you what I mean with it. A bigger WX and a Y here. The wave Y might still be unfolding, probably. Of course, it can be finished, but it can be another zigzag here, something like that. And your X, of course, having something like ABC, sorry, not zigzag, as a diagonal, A, B, and a C, yeah, something like this. In case we gonna still pushing for lower here, yeah. So this is the possibility. Also, there is a possibility in case we are not in W, X, and Y. There is a possibility of an ABC there. The whole wave C can be a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, meaning you want to push for higher right now. Anyway, even if you are corrective, which is of course right now exactly what we are looking at is of course higher prices, and I'm still looking for this impulse to be finished here. I doubt that it is finished. We have kind of like double 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 4, and a 5. So I'm expecting, of course, one more wave 5 towards the upside to finish this wave 1. Or it can be, of course, an A, B, and a C. Don't forget this. It can be corrective as well. In this case, of course, we might drop down and take a new low. But if we continue, of course, as a 1, 2 here, yeah, we might see, of course, something very, very high for ADA. On the 5-minute chart for KGT, for ADA, we are looking at the huge divergence here, pushing for higher. The CVD line is pushing for lower, and we see a buy signal from there. Now, of course, there is some pressure for the selling there coming in for ADA, but you have to consider that this is invalidated since the price push higher above the previous signal. There is no convergence, it is a divergence, meaning invalidation of bearish. That is a very nice signal for ADA. Therefore, of course, my target here, I would say, I'm still looking, let's say, if I want to have a target there, I'm going to take this as a target, wave 5/1 here. And I'm looking for this blue zone at least. It can be the 1.618, so 0.41 or 42, and 0.40 here for ADA might be reached very, very soon in a wave 5. So these are the updates for XRP Link and ADA. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.